Lions, baby. 4-0. Let's keep that going. Alright, everyone. We got a hell of a good match up here versus Second from TPX. And let's just get right on into it. He's going to lead up. Jesus! That's what I'm fighting. He's going to lead up with Metacham. And so I'm so sick of Trick beating me all the freaking time. I'm just going to think about it this time because I know apparently he can do it. But fake outs come first. He doesn't have a ghost, but he's got a Gliscor. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll just U-turn out of lol. Wait, I don't have U-turn. So I'm going to switch out of here. My question is just to what? I'm expecting Stealth Rock. I do have a Rapid Spinner in here in the form of Tentacruel, who can also Ice Beam, but can also get EQ'd. I do have a Gliscor of my own that I would like to mirror match over to and set up Stealth Rock as well, but he ends up just switching out as I go to a Dusk Noir, which I figured I'm going to use this to burn him first, as Stealth Rock doesn't really hurt my team that much. I would just like to Rapid Spin it away, but he doesn't set it up anyway, so that's kind of cool. And now I'm thinking, well, I can just Will-O-Wisp this guy. Oh, wait, I can just Will-O-Wisp myself. This is fucking wonderful. So now I'm worried about Trick. I'm like, I'm going to think about it this time. So I don't want to go to Ambipom. Part of me wants to, well, obviously he can't Trick right now because he just Magic Coded. So, God, I hope I wasn't thinking about that at that point in time. I didn't want to go for a Will-O-Wisp a second time, however. This time I went over to my Drac, so I could set up Stealth Rock of my own, and comes Infernape. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. I'm going to try and kill you. He does stay in. I was worried about like HP Ice or Grass Knot or something like that. Or if he just wanted to flat out predict me setting up Stealth Rock, because it's fairly simple to do in that case. And I got the benefit of the doubt on that one as he subbed up. Unfortunately, it was a sub and it didn't flat out kill him. I do manage to survive his Overheat, which is nice. It didn't look like he was Life Orbed. I might have missed that. I might not have missed that. I have a great habit of not paying attention when I play. If it was Life Orb, I'm not sure if I survive. So, because I took, around 300? So you would think add around 100, and I'm at 75. So, anyway, I bring in Tentacruel so I can set up some Toxic Spikes. And he subs up and starts Charge Beam. I'm like, whoa, this is just great. What am I going to do about this? I do have double hit via Ambipom, so that's kind of cool. Despite Charge Beam being super effective, it didn't do that much, but he did get a boost. So I know Ambipom can take one hit, but probably only one hit. Dusk Noir is going to do nothing about it, especially being burned. Gliscor is just going to get lol destroyed. I have a Scarf Azelf that obviously I could break it with Flamethrower or Psychic, but I don't want to lose my Scarf Azelf in the process. So as much as I wanted to spam double hit on all sorts of stuff, fake out on all sorts of stuff, sorry Palm, you just gotta go. So double hit hits, breaks sub, gets a little bit of extra damage on there, that's cool. And now I've got a lot of decisions to do. I could come in with Azelf and either Explode or Flamethrower. I could go to, I don't know what the heck I could go to. Maybe I don't really have that many options. Hi kitty, I am gonna decide to go to Breloom, however, since I do have one layer of Toxic Spikes up. I'm thinking he'll probably switch out expecting Spore and thus have something get poisoned on the incoming and not be put to sleep instead. Because of that, I'm going to set up a substitute first, see what it is he wants to do. He stays in, which is a good move, goes for Icy Wind, it hits, breaks sub, yada yada yada. And then this turn, I'm going to go for, gets a crit, snap. This time, I'm going to go for the Spore. If he wants to switch now, that's fine. I'm kind of expecting Gliscor to come in, because that's so far from what I've seen his best Breloom killer. And if Gliscor comes in and gets slept, that's cool, because he's not going to get poisoned from T-Spikes. But he ends up staying in, and now I'm really expecting Gliscor to show up. So there's no point in me subbing up and getting off some Seed Bombs. I'll be able to do a little bit, but not that much. So I go to Llanowar to hit it with Special Attack. He gets poisoned on this dude. I'm like, well, that's cool. I don't really want to stay in, but I think I can kill, because I am modest due to the Scarf. I want to say that I've got a good shot at this. Little do I know that he's, with Fake Out and Magic Coat, he's got a weird freaking set. So his EVs are probably a little funky as well. It was either U-turn or Psychic. I'm not going to explode just yet, and I end up going with Psychic. Again, it's not going to matter because he's going to fake me out, and I'm not sure if that allows me to actually change my move, since I didn't get to use a move, I just selected a move, but I figure the extra turn of Poison, that's going to be great. Psychic will definitely, Psychic didn't kill after the extra turn of Poison. It'll kill it, after this turn, of course, but now I'm really weak. So in comes Togekiss, and I'm like, well, I know I can't kill him in one turn. I don't want to get T-Waved or just flat out killed. So I'm going to switch over to this guy so I can Ice Beam it, and he Extreme Speeds. I'm like, oh, man. I thought about going to Dusknoir so that I could burn it, and I was like, what, just in case it's Hustle? No, it's not going to be Hustle. WTF, it's freaking Hustle. So it's got Extreme Speed. That hurt Tentacruel a hell of a lot more than I thought. And for the whole course of the game, I had forgotten that Tentacruel took a Charge Beam or two, so I forgot that it wasn't at full, and I was thinking, wow, that wasn't a crit. It did like 70% to Cruel. It ended up obviously not doing that much, but in comes Noir to take the next Extreme Speed. He switches out, so maybe he's banded. I'm not quite sure. If he is Hustle, he's likely banded. So I would like to get some burn up on Gliscor, and, well, pretty much everything for that matter. I do have Ice Punch. I am burned, however. Expecting taunt, or no, wasn't expecting taunt. I did try to get Will-O-Wisp up there. Sorry, I got behind of myself trying to be ahead of myself, and now I'm right where I need to be. So I go to Drac because I know I should be safe if he wants to Earthquake, if he wants to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and I want to get my Stealth Rock up as soon as possible. However, knowing he has Taunt, I figured he would go for the Taunt. It allows me to get off an Ice Fang for free, and bam, it didn't really hurt that much at all. I do get a Freeze, which is freaking sweet, but it didn't really hurt him that much, and I'm like, what the hell? So he's got Taunt and Roost and Counter, which seems very strange. Counter is always really awesome, but he looked extremely defensively bulky, and that seems a little weird to have with Counter. You'd think he'd want to take a smidge more with it, but you know, whatever. So again, Llanowar is going to be pretty much useless against Togekiss because I have to fear the Extreme Speed. So I go into Dusknoir. I didn't think that was the best switch because I didn't think he would go for it again, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And Dusknoir doesn't take like anything from Aerial Ace, so I'm like, wait a second, how did Tentacruel get owned? And Noir took like nothing. So Ice Punch on this guy because of Burn, it's not really going to do that much. I think I stay in trying to burn it, though, because that's actually going to end up being a good thing. But he just flat out Heal Bells, and I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. There goes the Poison. No, Poison killed Medicham. But there goes the Freeze on Gliscor. So, and now if, oh, and the Sleep on Regis. So now Regis can get poisoned instead of being asleep, which is really not good. So, it's just, things are not looking good at this point. I think I got a Pain Split in there. Maybe not. Maybe that's what I'm thinking now, is to go for a Pain Split. Because neither one of us are really under any threat, particularly. I'm under a little bit more, I suppose. I'm a little worried of Gliscor coming back in, thinking perhaps a Pain Split's coming, as Gliscor is a little bit more damaged due to taking multiple ice attacks, like a freaking truck. So I'm kind of worried on like what I want to switch out to. Or even just use if I don't switch. I'm just trying to think of like, what is he going to do? You know, what are his three best options? And if I go to, you know, any one of my three best options, how are his three best options going to go there? So there's 27 different things going on in my mind. I ended up going to Gliscor because I figured he's most likely to be able to take the hits, hopefully get a Roost off. And here I'm expecting a straight Counter or even a Roost, as he is faster than mine. So I don't think he's going to taunt me, which is going to allow me to get up my Stealth Rock, and it was sweet. I totally played it. And here, again, I have no idea what to do. And I think about it for a while, and then I figure eventually, at some point I realize he's at full health, and I'm not taunted, and I do have Ice Fang, so I'm just going to go for Roost. If he taunts me out of it, that's fine. We essentially do nothing in a turn, and I gain lefties for it. So even if he gets the right prediction, I still end up winning out, albeit very slightly, on that turn. And he doesn't go for it. He goes for the counter. I'm like, that's cool. Now I'm back up to full. I'm not taunted. I don't really want to take a countered Ice Fang because it did like 30% to him, and I don't want to take 60% to me. So, the hell, maybe even more, because 354 is not max HP, I don't think. I think he maxes at 383. I could be totally wrong on that, though. I go to Llanowar because I know three of his moves, and I'm assuming his fourth move is going to be Earthquake, so I figure regardless, I'm going to be safe. So I go here. It's too high for me to explode. I am Scarf, so I don't want to go to T-Bolt, even though I think Regis or maybe even Togekiss could come on in. But I think Psychic is just going to be the move of choice. I would love to U-turn on predicted switches like this. The problem is, all game long, I didn't have anything beneficial to U-turn to if I was correct. So in comes Regis, which is going to take Stealth Rock and Poison and Psychic, and I was hoping that that would be enough for a 2-hit KO. Did I say T-Bolt earlier? I meant Flamethrower for Regis and T-Bolt for whatever. But and it looked like it did just barely less than half of what it had. And then Poison inflicted and leftovers and all that stuff. And I just have a feeling if I go for Psychic again, I'm going to leave it in single-digit HP, and I don't want to lose my Scarf Sweeper for that. So I'm going to go to Tentacruel mostly as fodder. I do want to keep Tentacruel alive so that I can hopefully at some point take down Gliscor. If I do get Gliscor burned, or if I win a turn of prediction or something like that, Ice Beam is going to be extremely beneficial to taking him down. Even though obviously I need to fear Earthquake, which again I'm not positive if he has, but who knows, I'm just assuming he does at this point. So I also don't really think that I'm going to be able to kill him, so I'm going to switch out to Noir and just kind of switch around. I thought about going to Gliscor for either the Signal Beam or the Charge Beam, and then Gliscor would be able to kill him, but I'm like, it's way too risky that he's going to go for an Icy Wind. So I don't really know why I went to Noir. I guess I don't remember exactly. It made sense at the time because I didn't think Surf or Ice Beam would be worth anything. And I keep switching around again because I'm like, no, Dusknoir is probably going to be more useful in the end. If I'd rather have somebody die, I'd rather it be this guy. And over the course of all of his turns, I ended up gaining about 20 hit points, which at this point I realized that I had taken damage earlier from Charge Beam, so Togekiss' extreme speed didn't hurt me as much. And I'm thinking at 170 I have a shot to survive its extreme speed, and its Aerial Ace is going to be even weaker, so that can give me a theoretical chance to Ice Beam his Togekiss at some point. So Licky Licky comes in, and Dusknoir at this point is just fodder. I can't get rid of the burn, so his Ice Punch, even being super effective against 2 of his remaining guys, it's not going to hurt that much. Pain Split's not going to be beneficial, especially with a taunt out there. And it was just time. I needed to rack up poison damage. And here I've got 2 options. I can go to Breloom and sub up, waiting for poison to kill him and keep me a sub, or I can go to Azelf and U-turn / Psychic / Explode. I wouldn't want to explode on this guy, though. I'd rather explode on one of the more powerful walls that's going to be tougher to kill. In the end, I decided to go with Breloom so that I can sub up until he dies. And then as soon as I saw the Breloom animation come out here, which is going to happen in a second or two, I was like, wait! If I sub up, he breaks my sub, and I don't actually get a sub up on whatever he brings in. That was stupid. Way to go, Xerxes. He ends up exploding, which really just speeds things up, because I was going to sub like 4 or 5 turns, however many it took, because Poison Heal is going to give me enough of that back where I can, still be okay. Obviously, I don't want to take an Aerial Ace, so I'm going to have to switch out, because I know my Gliscor can't be defeated by his Togekiss, and I know his Gliscor can't hurt my Breloom or my Azelf, even if it has Earthquake. If it doesn't have Earthquake, what's it going to have, really? So I'm assuming it's Earthquake, and I'm pretty darn sure it's correct. So I'm just going to keep Ice Fang. I figure if I get a crit, if I get a freeze, or if I get a flinch, I'm in absolute great shape. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get any of that stuff. He's going to get enough back to keep roosting and heal Bell off all his statuses and roost again and all that jazz. So I think by going to Breloom instead of going to Llanowar like I was supposed to, I lost a little bit of my momentum and my position and my initiative, but I do believe at this point, Fortitude, that I still have it enough in the bag, and Wi-Fi is not going to let us find out, but I do think I had it. So great game over to seconds. It was a hell of a fun match. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Peace.